Okay, so I am just gonna answer a couple of these quick questions that I have gotten from people since I have come back from Ghana, and I think it's really fun because sometimes I can't think of what to talk about. So I love that y'all be asking me questions. It's pretty awesome. So the first one is, did you get sick? I got sick as a dog, and not the way that you would think. From eating street food, because let's be 100, I ate a lot of street food, and there'll be some clips of that within here. I ate lots and lots of street food, but coincidentally enough, I actually got sick from eating at one of our sisters' houses. And when I say our sister, I mean an American American. But yeah, I got sick as a dog. So let me make that very, very plain. And I'm talking sick. So during that time, and I'm telling little small stories in between as I'm talking, but during that time right when I got sick, I had met this guy who it did not work out between us for the sake of nobody's life. But one thing that I know for sure is that man truly saved my life. He had brought me these pills called collodion because I was throwing up, coming from the other end. You already know what I'm saying. And I'm talking about it went on for days, y'all. Actually, I was sick like that for like 2 days. And I mean, like, my stomach just feeling like over the top cramps or something. I can't make it make sense. But please know that, yes, I did get very, very sick. Actually, and I got sick twice from eating. The second time, me and the same guy, coincidentally, that's funny. But the second time, that is funny. You would think this Negro was making me sick. But anyway, the second time, we had went a shawarma, which is almost like, I want to say like gyro meat, because you got to cut it off with a stick, you know what I'm saying? But when we ate it, they had put ketchup in Ghana. They put ketchup on top of a lot of different stuff. On my word, they say it's a way to like calm down the heat. Ketchup makes me freaking insane. But they had put ketchup going through the whole entire sandwich. I was only able to eat like the top portion of the sandwich though, because that's the part that didn't have no ketchup on it. You know what I'm saying? So because of that, I'm talking about he got sick immediately. Like I'm telling y'all, immediately. But really, it wasn't until the next morning because I had eaten such a small amount that I was out. So I got sick the next morning, and that little bit of sickness only lasted for about a day and a half. So yeah, so technically I got sick twice, and it hit me the exact same way. That shawarma, I don't know if it was old or what was happening with that one, but I definitely got sick as ever. Somebody asked me what was the culture shock, and I will definitely have to make a whole other video about this one. The real culture shock for me is I am respectful, y'all. I am humble. I am kind. I am all of those beautiful things. In Ghana, I am over the top disrespectful. The culture shock, like, oh my goodness, my dudes and dudettes. The culture shock for me was people are overly polite, which I'm used to now. Now I say everything, yes, please, no, please. Yes, please, no, please. Thank you, please. I appreciate that, please. Thank you, please. Because that is how they talk. But also, when I tell you, if they say, hi, how are you? And you say hi, they will keep looking at you. And you like, and they're like, how are you? And you will say, oh my God, I'm sorry, I'm fine. I had to tell like 2 or 3 people, like, in America, hey, how are you? Is just one sentence for hello. Like, we don't really mean how are you. I have had times like maybe I was out with somebody and somebody will say to me again, hey, how are you? And he will bump me with my homeboy. He'll bump me and he'll be like, they ask how you are doing, and I'll be like, I say a hi. And he will be like, they ask how you are doing. It's like, dang, my bad. Like, oh, I'm good. How was your day today? Like in Ghana specifically, everybody, like, you really have to make it plain that you spoke. Otherwise, it's rude. Like, don't come into this circle. If it's like less than 6 people, I am telling you, more than once, I've had people be like, no, greet everybody from right to left. Start over here, greet this one first. And you really be like, hi, how are you? Hi, how are you? I've never experienced that before. And I promise y'all, me, for real, I'm so respectful. But in Ghana, it don't read the same way. Okay, PJ, what up? But PJ definitely asked me about the time zone. Now, that was a big one for me when I got there. Let me make this plain if you do not know. In Ghana specifically, obviously there's some other places too, but in Ghana specifically, we get 12 hours of sunlight, 12 hours of night every single day. The sun is up from 6 to 6. That is it. That right there was a big shock for me because we're Americans. So for us, we deal with that. But in the summer months, we get the sun until 8, sometimes 8:25, 8:30. So to literally know that 12 months, every single day, the sun was only going to be out from 6 to 6 was absolutely crazy. On this note, really quickly, y'all make sure you share my content. If you want to hear more about this, make sure you ask questions, get into those comments, really engage with me so that I can put out more content, okay? So like, share on this moment right now, okay? And when you share, put a cute little caption to it that'll make your people want to listen and see what I'm talking about. But anyhow, yes, that daylight, it threw me, and it took me a second to get used to. Yet it's a little bit exciting because at the same time, I've never lived a life where, I'm telling you seriously, at about like 4:30, 5:30, like everybody kind of know exactly right about what time it is, because the sun really set at 6. You can feel when it's about 8 o'clock. Like, and we all kind of know the time there. It's just very interesting. And furthermore, it makes it where it's like, oh, it's so late. Like, oh, you're moving around this late at night. It can be 10 p.m. But because daylight ends so soon, it will end up feeling late there. You know what I'm saying? It's very interesting for real. That one was a big one to get used to. And the same thing in the mornings. That 6 a.m., when the sun comes up, it's starting to get hot. So like when I take my morning walks there, the footage that y'all see of that, it's always at like 5:30, 5:45. Now again, I want to set out at about 5:45 because when it's still dark, you want to be safe. Even though the place was very safe, I have to get into that. Never felt no type of fear like that. But just to be safe, you know what I mean? You want to go out when it's daylight and be on point with that. So yeah, but by the time 6 gets in, you can already feel that sun. And I'm telling you now, by 8 a.m., it's feeling like, nigga, what? Like, for real. It's not a joke. Okay, so another one that PJ said was, with the weekends be liking that John Joe. No, seriously, right without him. With the weekends be like, and the weekends is interesting. First of all of they would call them like spots. Okay, don't get me wrong, we got bars and this and this and this. I lived in a smaller town. The next big city over for me would be Cape Coast. So it's bars and all of that. But for the most part, they got what they call a spot. And a spot is somewhere that they sell drinks. It might have music, but that's the spot. So the spots are open all week, but people don't frequent them like that. In Ghana, the part that I was in at least, that's where I'm speaking to. In Ghana, where I was at, the weekends is where it's at. It can kind of start a little bit on Thursday, but it's really that Friday, Saturday, but Sunday is the day people gonna have on their Sundays best in terms of their best gym shoes, they sneakers, they this, they that. Like, everybody's gonna be fresh. If you go down to the front line, or what you would call the Castle Road, like it's where the slave castle is, on that main road there, it's just a lot kind of happening on there, and everybody's gonna be dressed. Do you hear me? And that's also what they would say would be Rasta Road too. That's where the Rastas be at. I Rastafari. But yeah, so the weekends kind of look like that. It's not a bunch of like, how we kick it here. Like, we could go out any night. Wednesday is ladies' nights, this. So I'm sure that in Accra, like the bigger places, Accra, Takoradi, maybe even in Kumasi, I'm not sure, but I'm just saying those places are much bigger than Cape Coast where I was at. You get what I'm saying? So maybe it's different, but for the city where I was in, the weekends is where it's at, and that's where you're gonna see some of everybody and their mama there. Okay. He asked, one more is, he wanted to know about the villages. Do you get to the villages? Do you ever see any of the villages? This type of thing. And yes, you see the villages a lot. Unfortunately, some of the resorts, let's see, Costa Beach is one for sure. Costa is beautiful. Owned by white people. But yeah, because of that, you do come into the villages a lot of the times more often than you would actually think. The other thing that I do want to say really quickly on this note about village living, though, is it's not the same. Because we're American and we come from here, to us, we be looking at stuff like, oh, look at how they're living. It's so sad. For them, this is life. There is no, this is sad. Nothing is wrong with this. This is the way in which we live. There's nothing, don't get me wrong, I'm sure that we can come in with our innovations and make it like this and this and this, but it's nothing wrong. There is nothing sad about it. One time I was walking on the seawall, and I'll add that in here right now. But I was walking on the seawall, and you can walk up to a certain point, like where all the docks and all the boats and stuff are. But a lot of the time, well, for this space, especially when you get there, you are now in the back of people's homes. You get what I'm saying? So sometimes people are out taking baths, taking showers, they brushing their teeth. And so when me and what's his name, Abeku, so we walking on the seawall one morning, and I'm like trying not to look, like acting a certain kind of way. And he's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Well, I don't want to be intrusive. Like I don't want to be in their stuff." And he's like, "How is it intrusive?" He's like, "We're walking on the seawall, they're taking a bath. Like it's nothing." You get what I'm saying? Community there is much different. And even them, before I go into community, even them, the way that they was waving at me, like the butt naked for real, and they like, "Good morning," I was like, "Hey, good morning," so it took a second for me to realize that I'm not being intrusive. This is not weird. Nothing that they doing is awkward. You get what I'm saying? Like this is life for them. You're in their world. And that's the thing that is kind of funny about Americans when we go to places like that. We get mad about the service. We get mad because, they don't move fast enough. We get mad because of this and this and this and this. But we forget that we left America for a particular reason. You know what I'm saying? And we cannot go to another place where the people are healthy and prosperous, not in the form of money all the time, but prosperous in the way that they live, the way that they commune with the divine Most High. You get what I'm saying? We go to places like that and we want to make it more like it is here. No, please stop. Like you went to Africa for a reason. We cannot bring our American ways to that country, and we just can't do it. Stay your ass in America, period. If you want the experiences of that country, that's why you're there, period. Y'all kill me with the fact of when people come to this country, we want everybody to assimilate to our country. Why can't you assimilate here and theirs? It doesn't make any sense to me, but neither here nor there. That was one of the videos. So yeah, that's gonna wrap this one up, okay? I'm gonna throw some quotes in here. I will see y'all in the next video. Please add some engagement. If it's something else you want to hear about, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just gonna talk about what's at the top of my head. Peace. Like, comment, subscribe, and share, okay? Peace and love.